Dear students of Standard 12, we are going to discuss the topic sentence pattern today. So this is a 1-mark question. You will be asked to identify the pattern. Sometimes you may be asked to frame a sentence of the given pattern. So it is better that we understand the patterns in detail. And this is not only sentence pattern, this particular topic sentence pattern, but all grammatical items are useful to all students right from 6th standard up to 12th standard. So all these are repeatedly asked in your examinations: sentence pattern, direct and indirect speech, degrees of comparison, simple complex compound, transformation of sentences, that is voice, interrogative, all such things. So grammar is common to all students, all standards from 6th to 12th. We will do this in detail as you are now in the 12th standard. You would have already learnt it in your lower classes. So this is a revision for your public examination. Now when we talk about sentence pattern, we know that every sentence has a subject. So there are various patterns used in the formation of a simple sentence. We are going to consider simple sentences only. So we shall look at the various structures. Now subject and verb, they are very essential components of any sentence. So let us consider the first pattern SV, that is subject plus verb. Now I have given you some sentences on the board. Look at the first pattern SV, the children are playing. So what we talk about is the subject. So who are we talking about here? The children. So the children becomes the subject. What are they doing? Action or state, showing the state. Here action, they are playing. So this is the verb. Now mind you children, don't think that the first word would be the subject and the second word would be the verb. No. So subject can be made up of more than one word. Similarly, the verb can also be made up of more than one word. So if you have present continuous, if you have present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, many helping verbs are possible there. So read the sentence, analyze the structure and then pick your part of speech. So here the children subject, are playing verb. Look at sentence number 2. The hungry old lion roared. What are we talking about here? The lion. What type of lion is it? The hungry old lion. So I am talking about that particular lion which is hungry and old. So the whole thing becomes my subject. And what action is it performing? It roars. So past tense roared. So this is the verb. These two sentences are of the pattern SV. This is the analysis of subject plus verb. So what does SV stand for? Subject plus verb. We move on to the next pattern SVO, that is subject plus verb plus object. Now having done voice, we already know that the answer to the question what or whom when put to the verb gives you the object. He wrote a poem. He wrote what? A poem. A poem is the object. The children are playing games, an extension of the sentence under SV. So the children subject, are playing verb, the children are playing what? Games. Now just to check whether your answer is right, convert it into the passive. If you get the answer, then your classification is right. Games are being played by the children. So transitive verb, it can be converted into the passive form. Now who are we talking about the next sentence? Shyam. Shyam subject. What was he doing? He was reading. Was reading verb. Shyam was reading what? A book. Object. So a book was being read by Shyam. Answer is possible in the passive. So the classification is right. Now the next one is SVA. What does A stand for? It is an adjunct. Okay, adverb or adjunct. The boys are shouting loudly. So again subject, who are we talking about? We are talking about the boys. What are they doing? They are shouting. How are they shouting? Loudly. So, this is my adjunct. The pattern is SVA. Now, who am I talking about the next sentence? My father, subject. What did he do? Returned, verb. How did he return or when did he return? Late. So, that is the adjunct. So, again these two sentences are of the pattern SVA. Now, having done objects, we know that sometimes a sentence might have two objects. One is the direct object and the other is the indirect object. Put the question whom to the verb. The answer obtained is the indirect object represented by IO. Put the question what to the verb. The answer obtained is the direct object. We call it DO. So, bear this in mind. Indirect object represented by IO answers the question whom when put to the verb. Then DO is the direct object, answers the question what when put to the verb. Who are we talking about? The employer. The employer subject. What did he do? Gave. So, verb. The employer gave whom? The workers. Indirect object. The employer gave what? A bonus. Direct object. Now, try converting this sentence into the passive. You will get two answers in the passive. The workers, past tense. Workers, plural. So, were given a bonus by the employer. That is answer number 1. Then if you use the direct object, a bonus, singular, past tense, was given to the workers by the employer. Then next sentence, the management. Who are we talking about? The management. So, subject. What did the management do? Offered, verb. The management offered whom? The employees. So, indirect object. The management offered what? Several concessions. So, direct object. Again, try writing it in the passive. The employees were offered several concessions by the management. Several concessions were offered to the employees by the management. So, this is a check to see whether your classification is right. We shall see more patterns now. We move on to the next type, SVC, subject plus verb plus complement. Now, normally it seems to be a bit frightening, this structure, but in fact it is not. If we understand the concept thoroughly, there is no room for any doubt or any misunderstanding. Now, just consider this complement. So, what do you mean by complement? That which completes. So, if you remember this, you will never go wrong in your classification. Something which completes the meaning or sense of the sentence. Now, before discussing this, beware of the word complement. You could get it under homophones, complement and complement. Complement is that which completes. Here, compliment is gift or praise or wish. Now, you say this is a compliment for you on the occasion of Diwali, on the occasion of Children's Day. So, a gift is being offered. He gave me a compliment. So, he praised me. And then wish with best compliments from. So, during weddings or any birthday occasions or festivals or functions, this gift box bears the card with the name of the sender and you get these words with best compliments from so and so. That is wishes. So, remember the meaning of COMPLIMENT and COMPLEMENT, compliment, that which completes. Now, look at the structure. Now, basically complements, in order to identify them easily, we can just think of some clues. Now, complements occur after be forms of verbs, that is, was, are, were, am. I will give you examples. I am a teacher. Suppose I stop with I am. Is the meaning complete? You could fill it up with anything. I am a doctor, I am a lawyer, I am a criminal, I am a genius, anything. So, the sense which I am trying to convey, the meaning which I wish to portray is conveyed or clearly made known only by my use of these words. So, this becomes the complement, and of course, this is the subject and this is the verb. So, I becomes the subject here, am is the verb, the state of being, and a teacher. So, do not say I am a teacher, I am what? A teacher. Therefore, a teacher is the object. No. If it is the object, then you should be able to convert the answer into the passive, convert the sentence into the passive, the verb into the passive, be plus past participle form. Here, that is not possible. A teacher am I. It is only the restructuring of words. You are just inverting it, that is all. A teacher am I. You cannot say a teacher be plus past participle not. So, there you understand that your classification is wrong if you classify it as SVO. So, apply this test. Every time you classify something, apply these tests and see whether your understanding is right. We are students. Same logic. We subject, are verb. We are incomplete. Only when I supply this term students, the meaning that I wish to convey is understood clearly. This is your complement. Again, you cannot convert it into the passive. You cannot say students are we. Again, inversion or rephrasing. The children, subject, were, verb, were. What were they? Active, lazy, busy. So, there you get it as the complement. But mind you students, suppose I tell you the children were crying or working, then together this becomes the verb, past continuous form of the verb, were crying, were working. So, there the classification is SV and it is not SVC. So, you must bear this in mind, never go wrong there. So, apply the concept and then fix the parts. Now, next clue, complements occur after verbs like appear, see, smell, become, turn, etc. Now, let us discuss this with some examples. Now, roses smell sweet. What are we talking about? Roses. Subject, smell, verb. Now, roses smell. Stop there. You might say that the meaning is complete, but what do I wish to convey to you? I wish to tell you that the smell given by roses is sweet. Therefore, sweet is the complement. Suppose you stop with roses smell. You say, I smell something delicious from the kitchen. So, what am I doing? I am using my sensory power, the ability of my nose to smell things, and I tell you that I smell. But when I say roses smell, roses do not have that organ of a nose. So, what is the actual meaning there? The smell emitted or given by roses, the smell of the roses is sweet. Therefore, sweet is your complement. You, subject, appear, verb. You appear rich, complement. Suppose I say you appear, doesn't mean that you have disappeared and now you appear before me. So, what I wish to say is you are rich. You look as if you are rich. Therefore, rich is the complement. The girl, subject, seems, verb, intelligent, complement. The girl seems. We do not know how she seems, whether she is brilliant, whether she is stupid, whether she seems guilty, we do not know. So, only when I give this word to you, you will understand what I am trying to tell you. This is the complement. Now, he turned pale. Subject he, turned, verb, pale, complement. Why is it the complement? Pale is losing color because of fear, because of something frightening. Now, he turned. When I say he turned, if I stop with he turned, it would refer to the physical action of his turning somewhere. If I turn this side, I will say I am turning and looking at you. I turned and I saw the door open. So, this does not refer to the physical activity of turning the neck or face or head. So, he turned pale is he became pale. He was pale, and therefore, pale is the complement. Ram, subject, became verb, a lawyer, complement. Do not say Ram became what? A lawyer became he, it is wrong. Ram became, we stop there. What did he become? He became a doctor, he became a politician, he became a prime minister, he became a lawyer. So, it completes the sentence, therefore, this is the complement. So, I hope these little clues would help you to analyze and understand the better. We shall look at some more examples now. We shall discuss complements in detail here. Now mostly adjectives are complements. Look at the sentence, Shyam grew tired. Grew stands for became or was. So Shyam subject, grew verb, tired is an adjective. It is the complement. You subject, look verb. Now when I say you look, I am not commanding you to look at me or look at something. I say you are, you appear to be, you seem to be. So you look happy, you look cheerful, you are happy, you are cheerful. So this part is your complement. Now in the pattern SVOC, the object is followed by the complement. We shall discuss this later after considering these differences. Now it's essential that you distinguish between SVO and SVC. I have already explained this to you. Look at this sentence. You look happy. So you look, how do you look? So don't get confused with SVA here. You look, you are, you seem to be in a cheerful manner or happy manner. Now I have already told you, we are clever. Okay? Or my father is a judge. So please don't say my father is what? A judge object. We are what? We are clever object. No. So this cannot be transformed into the passive, and moreover these adjectives clever and here this noun, this completes the sentence. My father subject is verb, a judge complement. We subject are verb, clever complement. Now difference between SVO and SVA. Shaker writes poems. So it's obvious here. Shaker subject writes verb, writes what? Poems. Poems are written by Shaker, SVO. This is correct. Now Shaker subject writes verb. How does he write? Here if you put the word what, you will not get the answer. How does Shaker write? Shaker writes neatly, adjunct. So this is of the pattern SVO. Both these sentences, these two sentences are of the pattern SVA. The girl subject sang verb. The girl sang what? A song object. A song was sung by the girl. Now here the girl subject sang verb. How did she sing? Sweetly or melodiously. So that is the adjunct. It tells you the manner in which she sung the song or sang the song. So here apply these tests and get the classification right, so that you do not lose that 1 mark in the examination. Now look at these pairs of sentences, difference between SVA and SVC. Now look at this sentence 1A. The plant grew tall. So the plant subject, grew verb. Now when I say the plant grew tall, I mean an increase in the height. The boy grew tall, the child grew tall, the plant grew tall or high, whatever it is. So suppose I stop with the plant grew. It still conveys the same sentence as growing higher or taller. Therefore, this part is not necessary to complete the sentence. The meaning is already conveyed when I use this verb. So this is my adjunct. So the classification here is SVA. But when I say the man subject grew verb, angry, the man grew angry. Look at the difference here. If I say the man grew, it would only refer to his growth in business or growth in height or whatever expansion he has undergone. But here the man grew. Grew here stands for became. So this part is the complement. The classification is SVC. The man was angry, the man became angry, the man grew angry. Look at the next set 2A. The child fell down. The child subject, fell verb. So when I say the child fell, it indicates the action of the child rolling down and falling. So here down is my adjunct. The child fell down the stairs into the pit. So that is the meaning. So all these indicate the action of the child falling somewhere. So that is the adjunct. But when I say the child fell sick, here again the sick indicates became or grew. So the child became ill, the child became sick, and therefore this part is essential to complete the sentence, to convey the meaning I intend to convey, and therefore this becomes the complement here. So please analyze the sentences and understand the difference, then you would be able to classify the sentences correctly. Now children, look at the next part, SVOC, subject plus verb plus object plus complement. We've seen SVO already, so this is a bit easy. Only understanding the last part requires some focus or concentration. Now look at the sentence, they named the child Ram. So they, subject, named, verb. They named whom? The child, object. So the child was named, this part is right. Now what about this part? Quite often students get confused between SVIODO and SVOC. So very often they go wrong in classifying this part. Now you might wonder regarding my earlier statement. I said complement is that which completes, but you might argue that they named the child is complete by itself. Then why do we need Ram? Now each one of you bear a name. So when I wish to address you, I refer to you by your specific or particular name. In a class there may be some 20 students. If I wish to talk to Ram, I would call out only Ram's name, and therefore Ram would stand up and answer me. Of course, if there are two Rams, there is the difference in the initial or some sort of an expansion, surname, etc. Now coming back to this sentence, they named the child. So the habit of naming the child is quite common. There is nothing strange or specific about it. So they gave the child a name. The significance goes to the name. What name did they give the child? Was the child called John? Was the child called Abdul? Was the child called Shekhar or Krishnan or Kannan or whomever it is? So they named the child. It remains incomplete because I wish to convey to you the meaning that the particular name Ram was assigned to that particular baby. Therefore, this becomes your complement. Moreover, this is incomplete. They named the child as what? As is hidden there, as is implied there. They gave the particular name Ram to this child, and therefore this is of the category SVOC. If I refer merely to the action of naming, I would stop here. But my intention is to make you aware of this particular name Ram associated with that particular child. Therefore, this is essential for completing the sentence, and this becomes the complement. We, subject, elected, verb. We elected whom? Him, object. So he was elected, right? This part is correct. Now we elected him as what? We chose him for that particular designation of the chairman, president, chairman, any other designation there. So the designation gains importance, significance here. You wish to know what post he was assigned to, or what was the post assigned to him, and therefore this part becomes the complement. Next sentence, the judge, subject, declared, verb. Declared whom? Him. So the judge declared him. He was declared. Now, what did the judge conclude about him? The judge declared him guilty, as a guilty person, as the person responsible for the crime or the guilt. Therefore, this completes the meaning that I wish to tell you. We do not know whether he was acquitted or whether he was found guilty, and therefore this part is essential. This becomes the complement which completes the meaning of this sentence. The police, subject, found, verb. The police found what? The house, object. The house was found vacant by the police. Now, vacant is the complement. Why? See, the police found the house. It's not like missing the address or missing the location and going to that particular place and locating the house. That is not the meaning here. When the police went to the house, they saw that it was vacant. It was empty. Nobody was residing there. The police had got a clue, so they rushed to this house, but unfortunately they found that the house was empty. So, found the house as a vacant one, as an empty one, as a deserted one. Therefore, this is your complement. Now, we call Gandhi Mahatma. We, subject. Call, verb. We call whom? Gandhi. So, Gandhi is called Mahatma. Now, we call Gandhi. What about this part? Now, when I say we call Gandhi, we are not asking someone named Gandhi to come. I don't say Gandhi come here. I do not refer to that action of we call Gandhi, calling someone near us or to us. Here we give the name Mahatma to Gandhi. We call Gandhi as a Mahatma, and therefore this part becomes the complement. The teacher termed him a genius. The teacher subject, termed verb. The teacher termed whom? Him, object. So he was termed a genius by the teacher. The teacher termed him what? If I stop here, it is incomplete. The teacher termed him incompetent. The teacher termed him brilliant, extraordinary. So this part is essential for conveying the meaning or completing the sentence. So that is the complement. Sarla made her son an engineer. Sarla subject, made verb. Sarla made whom? Her son, object. As an engineer, she made him study engineering and become an engineer. So this is the complement. Her son was made an engineer by Sarla. So this is not like making or framing. She helped him become an engineer in life. She saw to it that he selected that course and came out successfully in that course. My words made my father happy. My words subject, made verb. My words made whom? My father, object, happy, complement. My father was made happy by my words. My words made my father. It does not refer to the action of making something. It means my father became happy on hearing my words, and therefore this becomes the complement. Now children, please revise all these, understand the structure carefully. In a hurry, don't just misinterpret this as I-O-D-O. For example, if you say they subject, name verb, the child, they name whom? The child, indirect object. They name the child what? Ram, direct object. Try to convert it into the passive, you will not get two answers. The child was named Ram. Okay. You can't say Ram was named the child. It is absurd. It doesn't make any sense. You can try it out for all these sentences. You will find that you will get only one answer because there is only one object here. So that is the test you apply in order to differentiate between the structures SVIODO and SVOC. So apply the test and identify the pattern correctly. You can practice this by yourself. So have a good practice, children. Definitely you will score that 1 mark in your examination. Thank you.